my next guest has more than 800,000 Instagram followers thanks to his unique and delicious blend of Mexican and American flavors. Alfredo Garcia is now out with this new cookbook, Let's Make It, and he's about to do an author event tonight at the Elliott Bay Book Company. But first, he's in our kitchen showing me a delicious recipe for elote nachos.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites from the cookbook. I've been making it ever since I was in college for my friends. So I've made it many different ways, and this is like the easiest way to make it.
Okay.
So a lot of the recipes in the cookbook are easy. So here we have some canned corn. We drained it, cooked it with some butter, jalapeno, and onion.
And can you use fresh corn
You can use fresh corn. Fresh corn would obviously be better. You can like get it charred on the grill or whatever, but in a pinch, you can use canned or frozen.
Great.
You just cook this for a couple of minutes. Once the onion is mostly softened, we're gonna season it with a little bit of salt and then some black pepper.
Yum.
And the best part is some tajin. So it's like sweet, salty, tangy.
I love how you're not even really measuring. Like, I love chefs, you know, you just know.
You don't usually measure. So then you add in the spices in here for a little bit, cook it for a little. And then my favorite part that I use like almost in every recipe is just like fresh lime juice.
Okay. Does it have to be fresh too?
To me, yes.
Okay.
I prefer fresh over the bottled stuff. So we just add the lime juice in here, brightens everything up, and it doesn't, especially if you're using like a canned corn or a frozen corn, it'll make it feel like it's fresh corn. So you just cook this for a little bit. It doesn't need to be fully cooked and warmed through because we're gonna assemble the nachos and put it in the oven to melt the cheese and everything. So from here, we have the corn, and we already have an initial layer of the chips with the shredded cheese.
What kind of cheese? Dealer's choice? Do you have a favorite?
Your favorite shredded melting cheese. You can use mozzarella. Here we're using pepper jack for a little extra spice.
Yes.
So I don't like nachos that don't have toppings all throughout. So we start with an initial layer of the chips, some shredded cheese, and then we have the corn where we just layer it over here.
I know, I hate when you get nachos and it doesn't have that perfect, or you only have a couple chips with the perfect bite.
You're fighting for the chips with the perfect bite, and this way all the chips get the perfect bite.
Ooh.
Start with that, and then we do another layer of the tortilla chips. Just because this is like the perfect party food, like
it is
entertaining for
I'm thinking
friends
Super
and family.
Bowl or just like friends and family.
Super Bowl, or if you're just watching reality TV or any type of award shows.
This is like my dream meal, I have to be honest with you. Like, it's nachos is an all-time fave.
Technically it's vegetarian because there's no chicken, no nothing. But if you want to bulk it up for like a quick dinner, add in some shredded chicken into the corn, and everything else you do it the same, and it's even more filling, and it's absolutely delicious.
Amazing. So you do another layer of the corn
of the corn, and then we'll finish it off with a layer of the cheese. I'm spilling corn everywhere.
That's most of the fun.
That's how cooking goes.
Right?
And then you just layer it with the cheese.
Delicious. How long would you cook something like this for in the oven?
In the oven, everything's cooked. You just want to melt the cheese. So 10 minutes max.
Okay.
So let's pretend we put this in the oven.
Yes.
It looks like this over here.
How did you garnish this at the end?
So garnish it, always some Mexican crema and more tajin.
I'm diving in.
If you have pickled red onions, do the pickled red onions. And that's elote nachos.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You also say that you have salsa that you would maybe layer on too.
So
Tell me about that.
I have a salsa macha.
So good.
I have a salsa macha. It's like the Mexican chili crunch or chili crisp that like you see at every Asian restaurant.
Yes.
It's a little spicy, it's a little smoky, it's nutty with some peanuts in there. Everyone loves the peanuts that are in there, so it gives it that extra crunch. You can use that to top these nachos or even this chorizo poutine.
I know, tell me about this other finish this, and I'm just gonna dive in too.
Dig in. I discovered poutine not too long ago, and I absolutely love it because I love fries, I love gravy, I love cheese, and it's just like, it gets that Mexican touch with the cooked chorizo in there. So it's like not like traditional poutine. So it's very delicious. It's one of my favorites.
The chorizo and everything is just all of this is seasoned to perfection.
When we made this for the cookbook photo shoot, my cousin devoured the entire tray. That's how good they are.
I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just eating while you're chatting.
Yeah.
Tell everyone about the cookbook too, some of your favorite recipes in there and why you wanted to make something like this.
Yeah, so the cookbook, Let's Make It, it's around 100 recipes. It's 50 traditional Mexican recipes, the way I grew up eating, the way my mom cooked for us. And then the other 50 recipes are a little more like funky twists on like Mexican classics and American classics, but like bunched up together. I think one of my favorites is a Mexican chicken parmesan, where it's like not the traditional tomato sauce. It's you can do it with 2 different sauces. One of them, it's a chipotle-based cream sauce, so it's smoky, spicy, or the other one, it's like a green poblano cream sauce. So it's like either way, that's one of my favorites. Also, another very popular one is a chilaquiles burger. So if you've ever had chilaquiles, like the simmered tortilla chips and salsa.
I always get that for brunch.
Yeah, it's like,
with the chips.
It's my favorite breakfast, and there is recipes for chilaquiles in here.
Oh, wow.
But it's like adding a little spoonful of chilaquiles on top of a burger with a fried egg on top. It's like
the
game
most
over.
unique,
it's delicious.
interesting recipes
so that's
that you have.
That's the concept of the book. Those Mexican flavors with American flavors, not necessarily Tex-Mex, but like Mexican-American cooking.
Yeah. And how do you have a huge following, like we mentioned in the intro. How do you use social media to connect with your community and followers?
I mean, I think what's helped me a lot is I actually like to engage with my followers, and everyone who sends me a message or comments or whatever, I'm always in there replying to people, messaging them back, and just you have to treat them like they're your friend, because without them, I wouldn't have had this opportunity to write the cookbook. So, yeah, I always like to engage with everyone.
I totally agree, and you can tell the way that you do it. You can feel your passion and your authenticity.
Thank you.
Your recipes, I can attest, are divine. I'm so excited for my lunch today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes. And just a reminder, Alfredo is hosting an author event tonight, Tuesday, June 17th at the Elliott Bay Book Company.